All right. So, hi Dave.
Hello.
So you're the first American on my channel.
Oh, I'm honored to be that.
You're honored to be that, yeah. So, I'm going to ask you like 10 questions and like a couple of bonus questions about America and China.
Sure.
So, what part of the U.S. are you from?
I'm from San-Diego, California.
How would you describe this place?
San Diego is a beautiful place. It's on the coast in the southwest corner of America, bordering Mexico.
Cool. Okay. How are the states different in America? Let's say, what's the main difference between Texas and California?
Well, California is different than every other state in that we have a very large international community. But every state kind of has its character. Texas is more down in the south, and they talk like this, and they're a little slower. So every state does have its own character, but California is the preeminent state in America, definitely.
How about other states? Are they all different from the others?
When you head up more towards the north, of course the climate is colder, and the people are maybe a little more city-like, a little more abrupt. As you head south, people are a little more calmer. Life's a bit slower in general.
Mm-hmm. Okay, cool. Are there any dialects in America?
Oh, definitely. In the South, as I said, they talk like this. The Pacific Northwest in California pretty much speak like I do. Then when you get to the East Coast, you have Boston accents, New York accents. So there are many different dialects in America.
Right, okay. So just saying, I'll check the camera. Is it rolling? Yeah, it's rolling. So, but can you make any accents?
Well, you know, like the Southern accent, they all talk like this, you know.
Is it like Texas?
Like Texas, and then off into the South, Florida, Mississippi, Alabama,
Right.
and everything's just a little slower.
Do you remember the video? I was trying to make an accent at the time, that year.
Yeah.
I know, man, what you want to say to me, but I just don't like that you are here. That's ridiculous.
Was it like New York?
It was sort of like a New York gangster accent, yeah.
Right,
Yes.
okay. So you would have a specific dialect, let's say, like Californian?
Well, because it's my native dialect, the other ones are different, but I think we're pretty much the most sort of basic monotoned dialect, and we call that a Western dialect, basically.
Western.
Yeah, the West, California, Oregon, Washington State, Arizona, that area. Very similar.
The big difference is between the north and the south, right?
Yeah, the north, the south, and the northeast would be the three major regions where you get a dialect difference.
Mm-hmm. Okay, good. So, you also speak Spanish, right?
Sí, yo hablo español.
How come?
Well, in San Diego, of course, we border Mexico, and I'd say about 30 or 40% of our population are from Mexico. My town was called Chula Vista, so there are many Spanish-speaking areas in San Diego and San Diego is Spanish, Los Angeles, San Francisco. All these are because long ago, of course, Mexico and Spain held that region, and so just recently. So there's a major Spanish influence in that region.
Do you hang out with the Spanish guys?
Oh, very much.
Yeah.
Of course, and the food.
That's where you get it from.
Oh, Mexican food is lovely. Yes.
Right, okay. What's your favorite food?
Oh, I can't just choose one. I love Mexican food. I love Chinese food. I like Thai curry. I like Philippine food. I love Japanese sushi.
Mm-hmm.
I like many types of food. Italian food.
Italian, okay, right.
Good French food.
Right. How do you find Chinese food here?
Well, it's very nice, and it's very varied. It matters what you're looking for, but I love the Chinese food. There's a lot of vegetables I like and all the different spices. But again, as you know, even within China, there's many different cuisines.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. Depending on the province, right?
Yeah.
How would you describe your life back in the States? What did you do there?
For most of my life, I worked in an aerospace factory. At first, I was a laborer, then I became an executive there.
Mm-hmm.
Life there is presently a lot more pressure, more taxes. You're in a bigger city. Now, of course, I began teaching, and I'm a little older, so I've learned to pace myself. Things are a little more, in general, relaxed here and relaxed in Asia.
Okay.
At least for me.
Yeah. And how did you end up in China?
Well, I wanted to get to Asia, and I was looking for a good job, and I have very good teaching skills. So after touring around and seeing the different opportunities, I landed in China because the opportunity was the best, and it just felt right. And it's in the region, and of course China has so many holidays, and I love to travel around Asia.
Yeah.
And it's very close. For instance, Shanghai to Manila is a 2.5-hour flight, and very cheap.
Right.
Because my other country that my heart is in is, of course, the Philippines, where my lovely wife lives.
Wow. Okay. What surprised you the most when you first came to China?
The cost. Well, here the cost of living is nice and low, and that's just in Juji, not in Shanghai, of course. The modernness of the transportation, the bullet trains, surprised me the most. But I really didn't have much of a preconceived idea, so I was just looking. So I wasn't per se surprised, as much curious. And I'm very pleasantly surprised of how much I love it here.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
I feel very at home here.
Right. So what are the pros and cons of living and working in China?
Well, if you don't speak Chinese fluently, you need to be able to navigate around using gestures, using an app, and you have to have that not bother you. You have to be willing to live in another culture and not have a need to get the inputs from your previous culture. You need to be very open-minded, which I am. You need to be an adventurer and a traveler, and be able to accept new things and be very open-minded.
What are the drawbacks?
If I had a larger family, if I really missed America a lot, it's very burdensome to travel there. It's expensive. It's far away. San Diego's climate was very nice, and here it does get cold, and there's a little more of a pollution factor here. So those things in general. And again, if you really need to be in your own culture, you're not in your own culture here unless you're Chinese. But that, personally, that doesn't bother me. But if it did bother you, probably China's not for you.
Yeah, you're pretty adventurous. That's why you're going for this. And what do you like the most about China?
Again, the adventure, that everything's new to me. I lived 50 years in America, so this is sort of the second chapter in my life, major chapter. And the proximity, the variation. I always am seeing different people, new people, and that are showing me the unexpected. And the modernness of the transportation system, the train system, the bus system is very impressive. And the cost of living in this town is very low.
Right.
So those things impress me a lot. And the people in general have been very friendly to me.
Is it like just an experience for you, or you would like to learn something from about China, about Chinese culture?
Well, I do, but I'm the kind of person, I just sort of let it naturally happen by immersing myself here. I am, of course, learning about the culture. I'm not actively saying, today I'm going to learn about this cuisine, tomorrow I'm going to learn about this aspect. I just see what naturally occurs in front of me and I soak it in.
Right, so you live your life, immerse yourself in the culture, right?
Yes, and it's brand new and different here, which is very nice to me. I love new experiences.
Right, okay. If you could live anywhere in the world, what place would it be and why?
The Philippines, because I love the culture there. I love to scuba dive. They have beautiful, warm, clean water there. But I would always be traveling around. So I would love to live there, but I love to hop around different areas of mainly Southeast Asia and get a little variety. And even now up into China.
Right, okay. So if you had enough money to live in the Philippines and you have a stable job there, would you live there?
Yes, I would have a dive shop on a beautiful beach and teach people how to dive, or employ people that are teachers, and be with my wife and swim and dive in the ocean almost every day.
Do you think it's going to happen?
Oh yeah.
One day?
Oh, that is my long-term goal.
Long-term goal. Okay.
Setting up for that.
Right. Okay, cool. I know that you're a great teacher and very experienced. Is that possible for an English learner to speak like a native?
It is, I believe, with a lot of work and patience, and don't expect that you're going to do it right away. If you are dedicated and everyday practice, listen to proper English, and be open-minded to feedback, and don't be offended if someone tells you, hey, you're doing this wrong, you need to do it this way.
Yeah.
And over time, of course, I have friends from all over the world that are great teachers, as good as native speakers, or almost.
Right. Okay. But like every English learner wants to master the language. Of course, some of them want to reach this conversational level, and they're alright with that. But some of them want to get this level of proficiency and speak like a native.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think it's possible?
It is over time. Again, you need to be patient, and in that case, traveling to a native-speaking country would be very beneficial.
Yeah.
Go to San Diego.
Go to San Diego and
have some Mexican food.
Can you distinguish a no-native English speaker from a native speaker?
Oh, definitely.
Even if he has a high level of English.
Yes, but again, it's perhaps a small accent and some little nuances or knowledge of different expressions. But now realize even within the native speaking world, there are different dialects. There's Australian, there's UK English, there's American English.
Yeah.
So even there's a variety there. And I can tell the difference even in there. But as far as a non-native, you can tell, but it doesn't mean that they're a bad teacher. If you get to that level of proficiency, you are definitely qualified to teach English. I would think, yeah.
Right. Okay. Yeah, that's all. These are the questions. So basically, thank you for your time.
Oh, my pleasure.
Do you give any online English lessons?
I would love to give them. I do.
Okay.
And I'm open for more students. I just want students that want to learn English, that genuinely want to learn English.
All right. Cool. Okay. So, thank you very much.
My pleasure.
See you later.